Welcome back to Real Business Roundtable. Today we're going to discuss something that is very important when it comes to sales, when it comes to any conversation that you have with anyone, and it's called effective tonality. So the way you speak can completely control the way a conversation goes. It could be the way that you position yourself, the way you make the people on the other side think. It happens everywhere in life, on the media, everywhere, on TV, on podcasts like this. It happens on YouTube, everywhere. The way people speak can control your thought process. And we're going to talk about how we utilize different effective tonalities in order to, benefit our sales process or to benefit a conversation that we have in a business relationship. With effective tonality.
So when you're speaking to someone, you need to always think in your mind, how would I take that on the receiving end? So whenever I'm speaking to someone, no matter what the situation is, if I'm frustrated or whatever, I always think as I'm delivering on the receiving side too. That's a little trick that I've used all throughout my career is, how can this be received? How would someone take this? How would my tonality make somebody feel? So when you're delivering and you're speaking to someone, especially in business or sales, business development, whatever, negotiations, you need to speak in a way that's going to make them feel in a way that's in line with the outcome you're trying to get. For example, the saying, you get more bees with honey. Try to be kind with your delivery. Try to be considerate. Try to be respectful. Don't be a pushover, but be kind. And you'll get more out of a conversation with kindness versus, combativeness. And that tonality can impact the outcome of a lot of very, very critical things in your business.
Yeah.
You can't like the character that says, "Get out," that I said before in a prior episode. That guy's going to get more shit than honey. You're not going to get any honey. You're not going to get anything that you want. You're going to get people that can't stand you. So if you're trying to negotiate a deal or you're trying to get a sale or you're trying to achieve something in business, watch your voice inflection. For example, if you speak in a more like a serious, when you're speaking to somebody and you're trying to get a message across and you're thinking about your tonality, I always tell people, use the living room or the parlor. That's what we say in New England. If you're sitting in the parlor and you're talking with somebody, use your living room voice. Now, would you speak to someone like, "Hey, bah, 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 bah"? No. Talk to them with your living room voice like this. Yeah, so what we can do for you, if you're really serious about, taking your business to the next level, these are the things that we're recommending. And this is based on experience. What do you think about that?
It's all about keeping your composure.
It's like the tonality has to be, I don't know. I heard somebody say, when you go into a doctor's office, they're not like, "I think you need surgery. This would be the best thing in the world for you. Blah, 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 blah. Call now." That doesn't happen in a doctor's office. The doctor's more calm, cool, collected, that type. That's how you want to be with your delivery, especially if you're trying to be a solution provider.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not gonna bullshit. Sometimes I get overly excited, but I'm more excited for the client because I know what we can do. So I'm like, yes, dude, yeah, we can do that. I'm motivated. I'm pumped.
But keeping that calm, cool, and collected tonality is very powerful. It portrays loyalty. It portrays confidence. It portrays knowledge. And, there's other ways to talk about, to discuss tonality as in, also understanding how powerful it can be in maybe, changing someone's mind, in knowing what things to say. For example, if we're talking to someone who is, they don't think that they want to do this, they've been stuck in a number for a while, there's a lot of things that you can say to help them realize that they're being negative in that conversation. And I have written down here, normally, when this is something that you could say that really, switches their brain. And before you say stuff like this, because you have to be kind and you have to be, compassionate for their business and where they're at, you have to understand if this is a good thing to say or what you're about to say is a good thing to say. You kind of have to predict how they're going to react to it. If they're going to react poorly, then it's probably not the best thing to say. But normally, sometimes I would say when we speak with a business, they're confident in their business being more successful. But during our conversation, it seems like you're not confident in your business reaching new levels of success. And when you say stuff like that, you can see the gears turn. You can see that they're like, oh, maybe I'm not looking at this the right way. And you switch their entire mindset. You switch their entire perspective on the conversation. And you come in as, someone who's controlling, someone who is confident about what they're saying.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's all about your tonality. Talking in a way that portrays confidence, in a way that portrays loyalty and whatever they're looking for in their service provider. Also, eye contact. And the things you say.
Nonverbal cues too.
Nonverbal cues are also extremely important.
Yeah, the way you position your head, the way you look, the way you react. Okay, yep. The way you acknowledge that you're hearing them. You can't just sit there like a stone. You gotta react, show that you're following them, showing them that you understand, that you're hearing their problem.
Yeah.
And then also the tone needs to, for example, if a customer's coming at you and they're upset and they're trying to increase the situation or the I guess you'd say the intensity, bring it down with calm. Stay calm.
Stay composed.
Stay composed. Good word. Stay composed. Keep the fire controlled. Because if someone comes at you and you're like back, it just adds fuel, like you squirted gasoline on it. You don't want that. But that makes things worse. That makes people hate your guts. That makes people think you don't care. Be kind, be considerate. Watch your mouth, watch your tone, and understand that if you're in business, this customer just spent money with you. You are responsible for taking care of them. End of story. So don't be a brat. Listen to them and take everything that they're saying into consideration and work on making them happy. You have a business, you have a responsibility. And the way I'm speaking to you right now is to get you to understand what the I'm saying.
No, but I think that's one of the reasons why we work to get really well together in meetings, because you're very excitable.
I have a way with people. I'll get them excited. Clients have told me this. They say, hey, you get me pumped up. You get me amped up because I'm feeling their energy. They're feeling my energy. They can tell that I'm excited for them. And we're like, yeah, we're going to blow up sales. We're going to increase the size of this business. And we're just all on the same, we're just kind of we're excited together. And we're just it's it's just on that same vibe. We get each other excited.
But that's exactly why I was...
Cam, don't laugh at me.
But that's exactly why I was saying that we work well together, because you're very excitable.
My tonality conveys success. It's or excitement to reach the goal. Because, no bullshit, I get really excited about what we've done for people. I was I'm looking at these people making millions and millions and millions.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, we're really doing a good job for these people.
Yeah.
So it adds more...
excitement,
confidence on my end, dude, you want to do this? We can do it. Let's go to work.
But then while we're in meetings, he's the more energetic side. He's the more kind of quick, big movements, where I'm more smooth. And it really works together. Exactly. I mean, we literally, you can see it in us while we're on the podcast, but it's really important. Move the way you move as well. If it all depends on the person, you have to understand the person that you're talking to in order to be able to kind of script your dialogue, script your tonality, script your movement. Sometimes you can't be too excited. Sometimes you have to be more
certain people I can't be hype.
No,
I cannot be Flava Flav in every meeting. I'll assess the person. I'm like, okay, I gotta reel it in a little bit. I gotta be more, like a dentist or something. Like, oh, look at these molars. These are interesting. I think you might need to consider some fillings. Have you ever had fillings before? Let me just check that. Sometimes with certain people, but sometimes if like someone's kind of close to my age and we're like, yeah, we're just like, oh, that's every once in a while. I don't know.
Yeah.
Every it's a case by case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like I said, you have to know who you're dealing with in order to script how you're going to act with them.
Yeah. So I have to, I'm always being myself, but sometimes I need to tone down the Andy.
But that's why I'm there too, because I'll be that calm.
Yeah, he'll be
cool,
he'll be like the other side of the coin.
It's like good cop, bad cop. Yeah, it's not good and bad.
He'll be the other side of the coin where if they're not jiving with my high energy and they're more like a dentist, then
don't make me seem like a monotone dentist.
They'll talk to Jake.
No, that's not how it goes. But
if they're lighting fireworks and they're going crazy, it's over here with Andy.
Okay, let's get back to tonality. Let's not. All right, yeah.
It's tonality. No, but just everybody's personality is different, and they sometimes they don't jive with super high energy because they associate that with infomercials and bullshit. Yeah. I get it. So sometimes I have to kind of control that a little bit.
So I want to get into controlling conversations using tonality.
Great topic.
So I recently watched a video where, this guy was talking about how he was talking to a bunch of his friends and he started smoking a cigarette. And he was like, and they were all like, oh, you smoke cigarettes? Why would you do that? That's so bad for your body. And he goes, do you know what the number one leading death in the United States is? And he named out all these different diseases, whatever it may be. And he goes, smoking cigarettes really isn't bad for you at all. And he named these high end, not high end, these like statistics. He made up these statistics, but he said it in a confident manner as if he knew what he was talking about. And his friend started smoking with him. And it was a test for him. He was trying to understand how people react to big statements coming from a place of trust. So this correlates directly with your pitches, with the way you're talking to people. If you use the right tonality, if you use the right words, the right heavy hitting words, you get into the minds of people just like the media does. There's different media sources. One place is saying this thing and the other place is saying the same thing, but twisted the words, using those heavy hitting words to direct to opposing sides or whatever it may be. And, you can take away from that. You can take and use that sort of strategy, that sort of, talking strategy in order to control a conversation. Mm-hmm. And so do you want to build off that?
I really feel that controlling a conversation it's almost like ping pong, back and forth. Watch their nonverbal cues, which means the things that they're doing, they're not saying it verbally, but they're doing things like itching their ear or doing that, or just kind of leaning in their seat. You gotta, I would recommend researching body language, how to read body language. You gotta look at all of those things. Are they squinting their eyes? Are they thinking? Are they leaning forward? Are they leaning back? You have to assess all of that. But when you're going back and forth like ping pong, you want to try to control the conversation to go in a direction that is in line with what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to bring on business, if you're trying to convey that you're an expert in your industry and you want to earn their business, you need to come off confident and you need to identify their problem and make it crystal clear that you can actually deliver.
When we get into meetings and we notice that this person is a little bit animated, they have reactions to things that you say, it excites me because you can see how they're jiving with what you're saying. But then you get into other meetings where it's like they have no emotion. They're just sitting there, and it's like
too much poker face is annoying because you're not allowing the person that's trying to work with you to understand your thoughts. Because if you're not saying anything and you're not conveying a message through your nonverbal cues, what are you doing? Like we've had meetings where like the guy's just a miserable, just sitting there. I'm like, where's this going? What is happening? Why didn't you have posters in your room as a child? What are we doing? Why are we all suffering because you have no soul?
But then on the other side,
What are we doing in this mother?
but then on the other side, there's people who we really jive with, people who react to those things that you say.
We meet with people that are awesome.
Yo, I want to talk about Chris.
Yo,
Dude, so Chris is a
Chris.
client. He's a very, he's one of our good friend of ours now.
Yeah, he's a good
And
dude.
He works Andy.
Oh
he works
my
him,
God.
right? So there's this one time where we're in a meeting, and he'll love this. This is a really funny story. We laugh about it today, where he's already a client, and we're talking about things that he wants to add on to his campaign, and he sits down. He acts very serious. He says, all right, I'm gonna grab a notebook.
Dude, that was so funny.
He grabs a notebook.
I was all nervous. I'm like, oh man, he's putting me to the test.
He grabs a notebook and he says, all right, what are we getting?
I was
what is
sweating.
the cost? Give me the rundown on everything.
I was
He's sitting
sweating.
there, very serious, writing things down.
I was sweating.
And Andy goes, stop.
I was like,
let's portray what happened.
I'm like, okay, yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and if you want to do this, we can do that, and then this is gonna be this, and if you want to do that, and then that, blah 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 blah.
About 20 minutes go by.
So then I'm thinking this dude's taking notes.
He's writing down a lot of stuff.
He's taking notes. Holy shit! I don't know what's going on. And then at the end of the meeting,
about 20 minutes go by. Well, at the end of that conversation, 20 minutes go by, and he slaps down the notebook right in front of me. And I look at the notebook, and it's all smiley faces and scribbles. And I'm sitting there, and I had a feeling the whole time. Andy was talking, he was listening, writing down notes, and I'm just sitting there like this guy is fucking with him so hard.
oh man, I was so nervous. So we were talking about this,
A big upgrade.
an upgrade for a while. Like, hey, we're going into your season. Let's kick some ass. And he's like, all right, I want to meet. We meet, and he was like, yeah, and I was like, holy shit, this is getting serious. Let me button a button. Hold on. And I'm like, oh shit. I was all like, okay, yes,
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
We'll do that. Yes, sir. We're gonna do this. Absolutely.
And then
another scribble. Oh my god.
And then he stands up at the end of it and he says, of course I'm moving forward with it. Like, why? We didn't have to have this whole conversation.
God,
it was really funny.
It was nerve wracking, but he was just messing with me.
Yeah, he completely controlled Andy. He has him to the T. And but that was a really funny meeting. He's gonna laugh at this when he hears about it. But that's also, he controlled that situation. He got Andy sweating, and he knew exactly what to say, exactly what to do with his movements, with his tonality. And it's kind of a perfect example of how you can really get into someone's head with the way you talk. But I don't know do you have anything else to add? I don't know if you want to kind of build off and kind of close it up.
Always remember to pay attention to your voice when trying to earn someone's business. If you're trying to set an appointment, whatever it might be, if you are interrupting someone's day or speaking to someone, or they're giving you their time and they're meeting you in person, always pay attention to how your tonality, your voice can be taken. How is it on the receiving end? Don't just blah, blah, blah. Really take in how you're conveying your message. What are you saying and how?
Also,
What?
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were done.
What are they feeling based on how you delivered your message?
Also, don't be afraid to say bold statements, to say bold things to maybe change their mind a little bit, kind of like the example I mentioned before. This stuff is very important, and once you understand it, you kind of gain control of how a conversation goes. But do you want to close it out? Do you want me to close it out?
You can close it out.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today on Real Business Roundtable. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so that you get notified every time we post a new episode. And also check us out on Instagram, where you get updates and clips. Peace out.